Okay? These are the chapters as you will find them in synthesis. They're almost identical with Kent. The only thing that has been done in synthesis is that the dream chapter has been taken out of sleep. The dreams used to come under sleep in Kent's repertory. Otherwise, you will find when you open your index of Kent's repertory the chapters as they are demonstrated here, starting off with the mind section, then vertigo, and moving down the systems, ending up with then sleep, dreams, chill, fever, and at the back again a very large chapter on generals. So these are your chapters. Next, you have got the head rubric. So if we have the chapter mind, for example, our head rubric would be fear. Below the head rubric, you have got sub-rubrics. For example, fear in the evening, or again, then the sub-rubric, fear in the evening while in bed. So this is how then you work your way down, and there's a certain logistic behind that as well. You have got your head rubric, your smaller rubric. Below that, you first have the times of day, as you see here after fear. You have the times of day, let it be morning, afternoon, evening, or nighttime. Then you've got modalities to that. Next will come the location, then the type of sensation, and then last the extension or radiation. If it is pain, for example, joint pain extending to the back. So that is the way that Kent's repertory is structured. You will find this structure in exactly every chapter within every rubric. If you turn to Murphy's, you will have that in alphabetical order. So you would have afternoon or nighttime way down on the list according to where this time of day is within the alphabet. So we can just look at the repertory for that and see that. If we go into mind, for example, and then we'll go into fear. Let's cancel this. Wrong icon. Okay, so here at the top you've got your chapter, your head rubric, your sub-rubric, and where the arrow is, you've got the next sub-rubric. If we just scroll upwards, so here we have the next sub-rubric after fear evening, we have got nighttime, and then we immediately go into location, fear experienced in the abdomen, etc. We go down, we can scroll down and see all the different, it's quite a large sub-rubric or head rubric fear is. Actually see when you open the computer repertory, and I've just shown this because this is exactly what you find when you open synthesis, the pages of the book and the remedies written after that. And you will see that the remedies are in different types. This is written in bold. This is just written in plain type, and here we've got an italic. The nice thing about the computer, it's also in color, so you can quickly orientate yourself according to the different types. All these colors can be changed. It doesn't mean that pink is always bold type. That's just the way that I've customized my computer. So what do these types mean? There's a lot of discussion about types, and some homeopaths find it is not of great relevance, where others put a lot of emphasis on this. So the plain type is also referred to as the first degree. If you carry out provings of remedies, this has only been seen in a small amount or small number of the provers who participated in this proving, and there's not a lot of clinical information about this. And all of the recent additions that have been made to the repertory of contemporary homeopaths have all been made in plain type, because obviously these are fairly new things that have been observed, and it will take over time, it will show if this is actually the case, that this remedy will always work in that situation, and the more clinical evidence will come maybe in 5 to 10 years' time, that remedy will then be upgraded in the repertory to italics. Meaning that a remedy is in the first degree. If you do your analysis in the computer, if you do your hand repertorization, you give it 1 point, so you count it once. The italics is the second degree, and this has been seen in only few provers, but there's a lot of clinical evidence that this remedy is effective. And if you count that up in your repertorization, you will give the remedy in that rubric 2 points. Bold type is the third degree, and this is experienced by virtually every prover. So if every prover shows this symptom, it is quite clear that that is something the remedy can bring out and that is associated with that remedy. And you can also see you have clinical confirmation for this. So this remedy then, if it's in the rubric and you add it up, you will give it 3 points. You'll count it 3 times. And then I also mentioned to you that Bartel and Klunka added the 4th degree, which you will find in all of the modern repertories like synthesis, Murphy's, and the complete repertory. And this has been seen, again, like the 3rd degree, by virtually every prover, and there's a lot of clinical confirmation for this. And if we just look at a rubric, mind elements from grief, we've got 2 remedies here that are in bold and capital, Ignatia and Natmuir, and we know that these are the grief remedies. They're not the only remedies for grief, because there's 65 remedies in the rubric elements from grief. So it doesn't mean that everyone who experiences grief needs Nature Muriaticum, but we all know, or once you get to know the remedy and experience cases more, that it will be a remedy that frequently occurs in grief situations where that will be at the top of our list. Again, common things in medicine are common and will happen often. The same in homeopathy. The polycrests are there because these are states that people often express. We just always have to remember that we don't think blinkered, but think beyond that. But Nature Mur is a good remedy for grief, and we always have to ask if this is the correct state or not. So here you have the demonstration, or if you look down here, ailments from indignation. Staphylococcus aureus we know is a remedy that has a lot of ailments from wounded honor, where they've been stepped upon emotionally, and that is a remedy that is very, very strong, or can be very strongly indicated for someone who's had that in their history. Just go back, talk there. Again, to the structure of the chapters, let me just backtrack there. We have the thing going from the totality to single parts, as we see in extremities, and we'll go to the upper limbs, and then going down to, for example, the hand. And then we've got the idea of going from the general things to the more differentiated things, and from central to distal. So this concept applies to all the parts of the repertory.